It's very hot outside. It's like 98 degrees, maybe 99. So forgive me. Oh no, 95. It's 95. In today's video, I want to talk about whether police officers, deputy sheriff, sworn law enforcement officers, can they take your body? And when I say your body camera, this video refers to private security guards, private security officers, safety officers, those of you who belong or employed by a security company or agency. Can they take your body cameras? So to begin with, a lot of the misconceptions comes from a lot of the First Amendment auditor videos or frauditor videos, whatever you want to call those types of videos. Guys, there's so much bad information out there right now in the First Amendment space, First Amendment audit space. The auditors have gone terribly wrong, routinely giving horrible information, horrible and misleading information to all of their viewers. Some of these channels have like 150,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers. And what ended up happening, I think, was years ago, is you got a few of those channels that have huge subscribers, and then you have the First Amendment or wannabes who kind of tagged along and started to believe that their lies are the truth. So look, if you're looking at advice on whether police can take your body camera footage, don't look at those channels. Matter of fact, I'm asking you to research with an attorney in your state, licensed in your state, to see what the law is. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm not an attorney. Neither are most of you. All right, let's begin. So a lot of the misconceptions revolve around recording the police. Hey, I can record the police, the First Amendment right to do so. Yes, on its face, just by itself, yes, you do have a right to record police all you want, record law enforcement all you want. You do not have a right to interfere with an investigation. And there's some controversy on what interfering is, but I'm not going to get to that. What we do know is that these security companies, these individual security officers, in my opinion, they start believing that they can record the police. Anybody can report the police, and therefore nobody can take their camera away. Okay, so let me make it clear. You can record the police all you want. Let me also make it clear you cannot interfere with an investigation, with a police investigation. Now, body cameras are something that's kind of new to private security. Private security tends to replicate what the law enforcement industry has. In about, I think it was about 2015, 14, I purchased my own body camera for work for a law enforcement agency. There wasn't any of the Axons that were out there. And before that, I used to carry a tape recorder. That's how much I guess I'm dating myself. A tape recorder. Hey Slender, what's going on? What's up, Jack Spade? Yeah, we're doing the body cameras right now. Okay, so I bought my own, started using it. All of a sudden, Axon came up with their own line, and where I work at, there's a policy that says you can't have your own camera anymore. Because again, when it happening was, there was a police officer that I work with. I think he was involved in a use of force incident I was not involved in, and the supervisor said, "All right, let me see your camera." He had old VHS or the older cameras mounted somewhere on a seat, and he's like, "Nope." So then the higher ups went to his house and says, "Hey, I need the cameras, I need the footage," and he said, "Nope. You can't prove that there's evidence of a crime here. Using force, okay, it was already determined to be appropriate use of force. You're just kind of looking to hang me dry out there because I've made some accusations about administrators in the past, and you guys are trying to do me wrong." I mean, that's what I think it eventually led to. But Anyhow, they ordered him to. He said, "No, I want a search warrant." This is an actual police officer. They're like, "Nope, there's no search warrant, and we're ordering you to hand us the camera. If you don't, you're going to be terminated." So what ended up happening was he said, "Fine, terminated." He handed over the camera, and there was no evidence of any crime. I mean, there was this use of force incident, but there was no evidence of any type of crime. This was justifiable use of force. He was cleared. So they end up coming up with a policy that states that you can't have your own body camera anymore. You can't do your own recording. You can only use what the department issues. Okay. Now, going back to crime, right? Let's just say you get involved in a shooting incident as a private security officer. Well, what's the crime? Well, it's possible homicide, right? It's first-degree murder, second-degree murder, third-degree murder. I don't know if you guys ever been investigated for homicide, but usually when you discharge your weapon into somebody and they end up passing away in the line of duty as a police officer, security officer, that's considered a homicide, and get a homicide investigation. If that body camera of yours, if there is probable cause to believe that body camera of yours has evidence of the crime, okay, of the alleged crime being first-degree murder, second-degree, third-degree homicide, vehicular homicide, if there's evidence on that camera, the police cannot go through that camera without a search warrant. That's generally the cases in all of the 50 states and all of the territories. That's generally the rule. Now, what the courts have allowed in almost all the states is the police are able to freeze that camera. They're able to freeze that body camera. Well, how do you freeze a body camera? You confiscate it. You take it in as evidence. Okay? So, security officer says, "No, I'm not going to give the body camera," which is that is fine, actually, in my opinion. Now, I'm not giving you legal advice, but I would refuse every single item. I would say, "No, I'm not going to give you my body camera. The only way I give you my body camera is if you're forcing an arrest on me for not giving up the body camera. That's the only way that I would give it up." And even in that case, that would be coercion. Okay, so I don't want to go to jail, so I'm going to cooperate, and I want this to be a peaceful resolution, so I'm going to hand it to you. Make sure that's recorded on body camera. Okay, but the police have every right to take that camera, that body camera, if there is probable cause to believe that there's evidence of crime. So when they freeze it, all they do is just keep it. They're able to turn it into some like airplane mode, so you can't activate it remotely, and they put it in an evidence locker, and they wait until an evidence technician or an expert is able to download the information or review the information. I'm sorry, I skipped it. I skipped the step. So once it's secured, airplane mode, it's in a locker, no one can get to it. It's in it's one of those airfitty bags. Not sure I'm pronouncing it right. They get a search warrant. And on that search warrant, they are going to describe the probable cause for believing that that camera has evidence of a crime. Once that judge signs that warrant, then the evidence technician, the expert, computer expert, will, or even the investigator, will go through that body camera. Okay? Now, some might be password protected. I hope you guys are password protecting your stuff. Again, it just depends on the state. If you refuse to give that passcode, it depends on the state, really. You know, that could be obstructing justice. But then the argument is, well, I forgot the passcode, and you can't penalize me for forgetting the passcode if that's truly what happened. Okay, so now the police can go through the camera, okay, because of that search warrant. So once again, they're able to freeze the camera, take that camera off of you, put it in such a position so that you can't interfere with it, and then they get the search warrant. They do have a certain amount of time in most cases to seek that warrant. So it's not like they could just grab your camera off of you and then get a warrant next year. or get a warrant in 12 months or 2 years. There's usually a certain amount of time that they have. Okay. Having said that, you guys, my advice to you is this. You don't want to conceal evidence. You don't want to manipulate evidence. You don't want to destroy evidence. If you do any of those above, that is a separate charge in all the states and I think all the territories as well. That is basically destroying evidence. You don't destroying or concealing evidence. Don't do that. My recommendation to you is to transfer, download whatever it is to another device, like a tablet or another computer, or to the cloud. And then from the cloud, you log into the cloud and you email this to like 3 different people: a close friend, a trusted friend, a trusted family member, and then your attorney, which nobody usually has an attorney, but if you got one, send it to them. And then send it to yourself with like maybe a Proton email or something like that. But send as much copies as you can to people, because this is what's going to happen. And I talked to somebody not too long ago. We'll say it was like 2 years ago. I never burn people who talk to me in confidence. That's why I am saying these things like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But I know of an individual who runs a security company, and there was a critical incident, and on that body camera footage was the critical incident. Well, the police just basically ripped off the camera from the security officer, and then sometime later, this owner of the security company, we'll say Colorado, right? Colorado. He was given the camera back. Well, he reviewed the camera. He wanted to see what kind of footage was on there, and guess what? There was nothing. There's no footage on it. It was wiped clean. I would not trust a law enforcement officer and a law enforcement technician to give me that camera back with that footage still there. I would not trust anybody with like not accidentally deleting something, because it's happened a lot. It happens too often that law enforcement wants to admit. Well, why should you be concerned as an individual? Well, first off, if you own a security company or you were involved, maybe not the shooting officer, you were like the secondary officer or third officer, and there's potential criminal or civil liability, that footage can, what's the word I'm looking for? That footage can serve as exculpatory evidence. And what's exculpatory evidence? That's evidence to show that you did not commit the crime. Just imagine law enforcement, they ripped the body camera off of you. You didn't upload it to the server. You don't have any copy of it. You go with an attorney, and then you provide a voluntary statement, and you don't have no body camera footage to go by. You're just going blank, which is totally unfair, stepping into something that could lead to life of imprisonment, and you don't have your footage. It's not worth it, guys. And then, if this is a civil case, again, you could lose everything, your house, everything. Are you going to depend on one person not making a mistake and deleting it? Absolutely not. Don't do that. Don't be that person. So if you're able to, transfer it, screen record it if you can, if you have time, right? The incident happened. First off, I would probably call 911 or the authorities. Hey, there's the story. There's a security officer involved shooting incident over here. And give a little rundown of the layout of the property. Again, it's a topic under the story, how to report this. Meanwhile, if you can, the most important events, and obviously you already rendered aid, right? The person's safe or not. You already made those attempts. Or maybe you get a bystander, hey, help me out real quick, bystander. Keep compressions on this chest. Give them 15 compressions, and then, wait a couple of bit and give us some more. I'm just saying, direct somebody else to render first aid if they're capable of doing that. You, on the other hand, as long as like there's a sufficient amount of people there helping out this person that's hit, which is a controversy topic of another story, upload a screenshot that footage, and then once again send it to yourself and send it to like 2 or 3 other people that you trust, because I'm telling you, once you need that footage, that footage is going to disappear. Okay. I did a homicide appeal investigation when I was working criminal defense investigations, and I went to the California Department of Corrections with my tape recorder, and this is back in 2010. And I said, hey, I have my own recorder. It works fine. They're like, no, you can't. You have to use ours. Okay. So I used all their equipment, and then when it came back to playing, no, I was gonna bring a digital recorder. I had to buy an individual recorder that played it back, and it ate up the cassette, the small cassette. So that evidence was destroyed. I could have had my digital recorder, but they made me have what they already had. Again, guys, don't rely on technology. That's my tip to you guys. All right, let me go through the comments here. Jack Spade is here. Slender is here. Security Guard Command says, oh, I like the new live chat format. Put it in vertical mode. I'm telling you, put it in vertical mode and more people watch. Jack Spade says, I carry my own Axon body, have my own account. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, there you go. So, Jack Spade, what I want you to do is, if you have a trusted person, give them all those credentials. Whoever is your trusted person, give them all of those credentials to log in into the Axon account, okay? Now, remember, if you get into a use of force incident, a critical incident, it's not going to automatically download. You have it in one of those downloading ports. But what you could also do, look, you can screen record it. Okay, screen record it. Most shootings, guys, happen within like seconds after the contact. Whatever led to the event, screen record that, and boom, start sending it off, okay? Slender 169 101 says, body cams are a valuable tool. They can be the one thing to get the true story. At the end of the day, usually there's his side, her side, then in the middle the truth, and the cam could be the key. Yes. However, I will argue that a body camera cannot testify. A body camera cannot testify to fear, to sight, to sound, and it does not see what the operator or the officer sees. So if you have a body camera that is in front of you, if you're looking off to the right and there's somebody with a gun that the body camera doesn't capture, or a knife or a bat, and they're running after you, body camera does not capture fear, does not capture perception, and the body camera does not capture what is not on the camera, like on the other side of the angle. Crazum says, thoughts on contract work. It depends. I mean, if you could, that's a 2-hour topic. I prefer to work in-house security, to be honest with you. There's usually benefits. There's a retirement package. I worked in-house hospital security for about 2 years. And I still have that retirement, like some of that retirement. It's nothing, guys. It's like, I don't know, it's probably at $7,000 right now, maybe $8,000. But they had a 401k match. It was actually, it was a nonprofit hospital, so we had the 450, oh my goodness, 401b. I forgot what's it called, 501b, 401b. It wasn't a 501k, I'll tell you that. It was something different. And then the benefits, like health benefits, are usually better. Jack Spade says, oh, Primary Security Agency Training Division, welcome to the channel. They said Axon has an app. You can view it on your phone. Best bet to screen and record and save it before it gets taken from you. Thank you. Okay, so yes, Axon does have an app. And that app, it's kind of hard to describe just like talking live. That app, you can access your camera through that app. So what I can do is my body camera can be like three cars away from me right now. Well, maybe two, right? And then I can grab my phone, and then I can access the Axon app, and then I can start screen recording from there. Okay, I can start screen recording from there, and then that's when I'm gonna send off my footage to three other people. And then if law enforcement says, "Hey, what are you doing? I need you to stay over here." I personally would say, you know what? I'm trying to get a hold of my attorney. Is there any way that I can like talk in private with my attorney so that you can honor the attorney-client privilege? Guys, defense attorneys love that. They would love that. They would love to see that one. So once again, hey officer, with all due respect, I'm trying to get a hold of my attorney. I'm asking if you could grant me some privacy so I could speak to my attorney in confidence so that we can maintain that attorney-client relationship. If you get that on camera, that's the best. Police officers in California understand what that means. In California, if I'm not recording evidence, I could shut my camera off, and really anywhere else, yeah, you might be violating policy, but look, for those of you in law enforcement, there's something called the attorney-client privilege. Okay, your body camera is rolling, and what's it recording? It's recording your conversations with your attorney. And for that reason, my camera goes off as long as there's no chance of me even getting near any type of evidence or destroying evidence. So usually you have somebody trusted near you, being a witness to you not recording any additional evidence. Okay, Jack Spade says yes, primary. Jack Spade also says, we're a 360-degree camera. I haven't seen that. Sean, you turn 5 minutes topic into an hour. What are you talking about? Yeah, I know. I do it all the time. Green Line Security says some of the new cameras upload automatically on Wi-Fi. Something to look into. Sean, I saw some good footage of security doing crowd control at these recent protests. They had bike patrols moving crowds. Hey, could you do us a huge favor? If you have any of those links to those cameras that you're talking about that automatically goes to Wi-Fi and then the crowd controls, if you can send us a link. You know what? If you could just put like a comment sending you something and then wait like 5 minutes and then actually send the link. That way we'll know that there was an attempt made. And that way I can look at the review button to see if there's any links, because YouTube does not like it when other people provide links. Jack Spade, he says he was joking. Oh, man. Joking about the 360-degree view. Hey, man, I'm becoming an old man. I'm 43. I don't even know how old I am anymore. I think I'm 40. I'm going to be 44. So I guess I'm kind of vulnerable to some of these technologies out here. And I know the 50-year-olds, the 60-year-olds are saying you're not old. Yeah, compared to most of the audience who's probably in their 30s, between 20s and mid-30s, I am old. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Looking forward to the dialogue. I'm not going to delete this video. I'm going to keep this one up because I want to hear the dialogue from everybody. If I hear something great, awesome, I'm going to pin your comment. Take care, guys.